How much of an impact does a great agile leader have, and why? Well, what is an agile leader? That's where I would start, because there is agility in leadership. I'm not sure there is an agile leader. What are you expecting? A leader who also competes in the world championships for gymnastics. Don't know. What we want to see from a leader is somebody who understands 21st century working. They understand that the common ideas that we see in business today stem from the early 20th century. They've evolved, they've adapted. Some of them have got good, but many of them are actually stuck in the first half of the 20th century. And what we're looking for from a leader is somebody who recognises that, and that not only have the workforce changed. I'm not a millennial, but I do see them much maligned. Millennials are in their 40s, so they're a big part of the workforce. I can't remember what letters people coming after are given. Okay, but also the type of work we're doing. Very often when I work with organisations, we meet leaders who are reinforcing the status quo because it made this company big, it made it successful. Why could it possibly not do that in the future? And when you start asking them this, they've got sound thinking. The way that they've approached their career to date has got them where they are. Why wouldn't it take them forwards? Yeah, fair enough. But when you get them to think about the nature of the work, what they did at the start of their career, my career started 20 odd years ago, it's totally different to the type of career that there is today. The economy is different, the market's different, the technology that we use is radically different in the 20 years that I've been in the world of work. Why wouldn't we lead people differently? Okay. So a leader of 21st century work is somebody who is aware of the past, is willing to use the parts of that support them, and the parts of that are still relevant in today's world. And there is much good that we're building on, we're not discarding. Okay. But they're also going to recognise that the type of work we're doing has shifted from external, from manual, from something somebody else can see, to in fact the bulk of what we do happens up here. It's thinking, it's in the conversations we have, it's in the pictures we sketch on that whiteboard that becomes a real mess, but we know that conversation and we can remember it. And in doing that and through the conversations and a bit of trial and error, because let's be honest, we don't get it right first time, we create the value, we solve the problems in front of us. And you can't watch somebody do that. I mean, you can, but it's pretty dull. You don't know what's going on in my head if I'm sat there. I could be working incredibly hard, or I could be wondering what's for dinner, and you wouldn't know. So you can't manage somebody using the tools that manage external work. You can't tell me that I'm working hard or not, because you can't tell if I'm working hard or not. Okay? When it was physical, I produced a number of widgets per hour. You measured the number of widgets created, and you decided whether I was good enough to keep employed. How many ideas per hour are you meant to have? How many problems that nobody's ever solved before are you meant to solve? That's not how it works. So let's not use those tools. Instead, I'm looking for leaders to really double down on empathy, to understand where people are coming from, to really get them. Okay? We see tools like coaching, asking questions, listening, understanding that you don't need to have the answer. As the manager, as the leader, it's not on you. Your job is to create an environment where they can flourish, where they can think better, and in thinking better, they can create the value. So our leaders become coaches. They become people who ask questions, that challenge, that inquire, that create spaces for others to think better. They become people who understand the nature of organisational change, of organisational power shifts. They're people who create spaces where people can talk, can speak openly, honestly, without fear of retribution. You'll hear it as psychological safety. It is a key part. It's not the only part, but it is a key part of modern day leadership. Creating a place where your team can think better. So that starts blending into the organisation itself. Leaders are people who are out there creating environments in which those people can think, which support their thinking, which support their processes. They're the people who are changing the organisations of the 20th century into ones suitable for the 21st century. They're people who are supporting and, the word's gone, taking others forwards with them. They're always interested in how to help you, how to support your advancement, how to support your career. They are leaders, not managers. And that's a very important difference. They are not there to make sure you are following exactly what you are meant to do. They are there to make sure you have the tools, you have the knowledge, you have the ability to succeed in what they need from you. And everything else becomes secondary to supporting you in your creation. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.